Hello and welcome to the AI with Arun show. If you feel like AI is moving too fast, you are not alone. My goal today is to give you a clear, actionable roadmap, the top 10 essential skills that will move you from being an administrative task manager to a strategic orchestrator in the age of AI. This is how you secure your value in the next decade. Let me start with a quick story. Imagine two project managers, Sarah and David, both leading major product launches in 2028. Sarah, who was an administrative PM, let the AI handle everything. When the AI reported the project was green, she nodded, filed the report, and moved on. David, however, spent an hour scrutinizing the data behind the AI's green light. He realized the training data was biased, leading the AI to ignore a critical dependency. Sarah's project failed spectacularly. David succeeded because he understood the data, not just the dashboard. That difference is our new reality. The discipline of project management is undergoing its most significant transformation since the original PM box was created. Research forecasts that 80% of project management tasks will be run by AI by 2030. That means the administrative project manager, the one just filing reports, is facing obsolescence. But here is the good news. The strategic project manager is entering a golden age of augmented capability. Organizations leading in AI adoption are seeing incredible results: 14.7 times higher staff productivity and 13 times higher shareholder value. The key is treating this not as an IT upgrade, but as a human capability challenge, a talent first approach. That means developing a hybrid profile, combining technical fluency, data savvy, and elevated human centric leadership. To master this transformation, we need a structure. We have synthesized the required skills into three critical domains. Think of this as your new project management body of knowledge. The first one is technical mastery, which is the hard skills. This domain is about moving beyond the black box. It's about understanding the engine under the hood, how AI systems work, how data flows, and how to govern them. The second one is operational execution, which are the process skills. This is where you realize immediate efficiency. This is about using AI tools to streamline your daily workflows, the 15x productivity multiplier. And the three is strategic leadership, which are the power skills. These are uniquely human capabilities that AI can never replicate. This is a judgment, ethics, empathy, and leadership. These become your ultimate premium assets. So let's start with the foundation, data literacy. Now, data is the fuel that runs all AI systems. If the fuel is dirty, the engine will fail. For project managers, data literacy has moved far beyond just reading a spreadsheet. It now means understanding the data's provenance, the quality, structure, and potential bias. Now, why is this crucial? Without this skill, you risk blind faith, accepting automated predictions without scrutiny, which is a high risk. AI models, especially generative AI, are prone to hallucinations or confident errors. If you cannot trace a generated risk assessment or forecast back to its original source data to verify its validity, you are a liability in the system. Your goal is to become proficient enough to understand how data informs models and influences those automated decisions. We must treat data quality as a primary project constraint, equal to scope and time. So, what does interrogating the data actually look like? As the project manager, you become the gatekeeper of data integrity. You need to ask three core questions during the project's data discovery phase. Number one, completeness. Do we have enough historical data? For instance, a predictive platform often requires at least a year of historical data to inform the model effectively. If you commit to a timeline without this, you're setting yourself up for failure. Number two, representativeness. Is the dataset representative of the real world? Imagine a construction safety AI trained only on data from sunny California. It would likely fail to identify critical safety risks in rainy Seattle. Number three, privacy and security. Have we scrubbed all personally identifiable information, PII, before training the model? Finally, you must understand data separation. Training data, which is the teaching part, and validation data, which is the tuning part, and the test data, which is the evaluating part. Mixing these up is a common error. called data leakage, leading to models that look perfect in testing but fail instantly in the real world. Moving on to skill number two, which is managing the AI lifecycle. Now, this is arguably the most profound shift for project managers, moving from the old predictable world of traditional software to the probabilistic world of AI. In the old world, the SDLC, logic was deterministic. If X happens, execute Y. It was like constructing a house, linear and predictable. In the new world, which is of the AI and ML world, logic is learned from data. The outcome is never 100% certain, it's a probability. This is more like gardening, planting, observing, adjusting, and iterating. This means our standard milestones, requirements, design, build, often break down. The build phase involves training a model that may or may not converge. The PM's role is to ensure the business problem is actually solvable by AI and to remember the critical path warning. The data collection and preparation phase often consumes the majority of the project timeline. We move on to skill 3. We all know technical debt from messy code, but AI introduces new, more insidious forms of debt. If not managed, this complexity increases operational risk and causes organizations to spend more fixing problems than generating new value. This directly impacts your project's ROI. We must recognize two types of AI technical debt. The first one is model drift or the maintenance debt. Unlike standard software, which does not change on its own, ML models rot. Their accuracy degrades as the real world changes. Think of a consumer model trained before 2020 suddenly becoming useless in 2022. Your job as a PM is to schedule regular retraining cycles into the maintenance roadmap. Number two, the feedback loop debt. Now, this is dangerous. It happens when a model's output influences its own future training data, reinforcing biased or extreme behavior. A classic example is a predictive policing model that focuses more officers on a high crime area, which leads to more arrests, which then reinforces the model's belief that the area is high crime. Now, to mitigate this, implement data version control. Just like code, the datasets used to train the model must be rigorously versioned so you can always reproduce a successful result. Moving on to skill number 4, the prompt engineering. So let's talk about operational efficiency. The ability to effectively prompt large language models, LLMs, is now a critical technical skill. Now, this is prompt engineering, and it is the art of designing robust techniques to interface with tools like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Grok to get specific high quality outputs. This skill translates directly to massive productivity gains in drafting documentation, summarizing meetings, and analyzing complex documents. The difference between a novice and an expert project manager is often the quality of their prompts. You should be treating the AI like a junior analyst who requires careful guidance. You can input raw meeting notes into a template and receive a structured product requirements document PRD almost instantly. To move from novice to expert, master these simple techniques. 1. Chain of thought. Now, this is a powerful technique. Instead of asking for the final answer, encourage the model to explain its reasoning steps first. For example, first break down the dependencies, second, estimate durations, finally, construct the schedule. This dramatically reduces logical errors. Few short learnings. Don't just ask the AI to write a scope document. Paste 3 examples of excellent scope documents first, and then ask it to create a new scope for Project X following the format and depth of these examples. This dramatically improves output quality. Then role playing. Instruct the AI to act as a specific expert persona. Act as a senior risk manager for a construction firm. Now analyze this project scope for potential safety risks. This primes the model to access specific relevant knowledge. Now remember the golden rule, trust but verify. Gen AI is a probability engine, not a truth engine. So you must cross-check all the critical figures, the dates and the citations to guard against hallucinations. Now we'll move on to the fifth skill, which is tool orchestration. So we are moving from being passive users of project tools to becoming tool orchestrators. Our job is to select and configure the right stack of AI agents to maximize efficiency. The market has shifted towards agentic AI. Now, these are intelligent agents that can autonomously schedule meetings, balance workloads, and predict risks without constant human oversight. For example, an agent might notice a scope change and automatically update the cost estimate, and schedule. Your new role is to become a manager of robots. The skill here is defining the guardrails and permissions for these agents to ensure they coordinate effectively and critically do not create feedback loops of errors. You must also decide, is this task better suited for automation? Like, for example, if it's a repetitive, low value admin, billing, or reporting kind of a work, or is it suitable for augmentation, high value cognitive tasks like brainstorming risk scenarios? So let's look at some examples of tool orchestration because not all AI tools are equal. If you are running a complex project where early warnings of schedule slippage are critical, you would rely on Rike for its predictive risk assessment capabilities. If your team spends too much time searching for information across tasks, chats, and documents, ClickUp Brain or Jira Intelligence are better because they offer knowledge retrieval and automation. For individuals or teams drowning in meetings, Motion provides algorithmic scheduling, automatically time blocking tasks based on priority. Understanding these specific capabilities allows you to match the right AI tool to the right project needs. So moving on to skill number 6, which is agile adoption. The traditional agile methodologies were designed for deterministic software development. A feature either works or it doesn't. AI development is different. A model might never be done. It just reaches an acceptable threshold of accuracy. This breaks traditional agile planning. Spikes as the norm. Keep that in mind. Now, time box research tasks called spikes become standard. A sprint might be dedicated entirely to exploratory data analysis with the understanding that the output might be this approach doesn't work. Your job is to protect the team from pressure to deliver working software every 2 weeks when they're doing experimental research. Now, criteria must shift from binary to measurable probabilities. Instead of system identifies user face, the new criteria is system identifies user face with greater than 95% accuracy and less than 1% false positive rates. You facilitate the negotiation of these thresholds stakeholders. How wrong can the AI be before it is dangerous? So moving to skill number 7, which is ethical governance. As AI becomes more autonomous, the ethical and legal stakes skyrocket. This is no longer optional. It is mandatory for risk management. Project managers are now the first line of defense against unauthorized tool use, what we called shadow AI, and non-compliance with major regulations. You must understand the landscape, including frameworks like the EU AI Act and the NIST AI Risk Management Framework (RMF). The EU AI Act categorizes systems based on risk. You must assess if your project involves high-risk AI, things like employment screening or credit scoring, and ensure the required conformity assessments are in place to avoid massive fines. The NIST RMF provides a checklist for project oversight based on 4 core functions: govern, measure, and manage. A core ethical challenge is the black box problem. Many complex AI models are opaque, meaning users can't understand why a decision was made. This hinders stakeholder trust. Your role is to advocate for explainable AI or XAI. If you cannot explain to a client why the AI rejected a loan application or flagged a specific resource as high risk, the project will face adoption resistance. This includes enforcing documentation standards, often called model cards, that explain why a model was chosen, what data it was trained on, and its known limitations. Furthermore, you are responsible for mitigating bias. You must ask, does our training data represent all user groups? Have we tested the model for disparate impact across protected classes? The Ethical Impact Assessment (EIA) is now becoming a standard project deliverable. Let's move on to skill number 8, which is strategic business acumen. Now, in AI, it is easy to get lost in technical metrics like an F1 score and recall. But remember, a model with 99% accuracy is useless if it predicts something that has no impact to the bottom line. The skill is about moving from a tactical troubleshooter to a strategic value creator. You must translate technical figures into business value. AI is expensive. Compute costs, talent, and the cloud storage are high. The critical financial question you must ask is the cost of training this custom model justified by the marginal gain in accuracy over a cheaper off the shelf model? You must conduct a total cost of ownership analysis, TCO analysis, to account for hidden costs like training, like change management, and ensuring project viability and real ROI. So, what does success look like outside of the technical details? Your KPIs must reflect true business outcomes. To operational efficiency, we're measuring real gains like the reduction in manual processing time or improved call containment rates or chatbots. Then we look at financial impact, which is measuring the cost savings or the revenue uplifts from personalized recommendations or increased customer lifetime value. Then we look at user satisfaction. Now, this is key for adoption. Measure adoption rates, CSAT, customer satisfaction score, and NPS, Net Promoter Score. Now, these are the metrics the executive board truly cares about, and you, the PM, are responsible for linking the model's performance to these numbers. All right, so moving on to skill number 9, which is organizational change management. Now, the primary reasons AI projects fail are human and organizational. They're not technical. Research shows that the top barriers are lack of AI skills, about 64%, and staff resistance, 55%. You cannot ignore the human element of your job is to navigate this anxiety by framing AI not as a replacement, but as a co-pilot or an augmenter. Successful implementation requires a talent-first approach. This means adopting AI-first leadership, where managers model the behavior by using the AI tools themselves and being transparent about the learning curve. You are the bridge between the technical vision, the CIO, and the talent reality, the CHRO. So, how do you operationalize change management? To keep these in mind, one is transparency. Be clear about why AI is being adopted and exactly how it impacts specific roles. Lack of awareness is a major driver of mistrust. Second, participation. Involve the team in selection and training of the AI tools. When employees help teach the AI, they feel a sense of ownership rather than victimization. This both reduces resistance and improves the tool's effectiveness. And three, upskilling paths. Ensure that the efficiency gains from AI are reinvested into upskilling the team for higher value, more strategic work. Show your team a path forward, not a path out. Your job is to guide the team through the inevitable, messy middle of adoption, the valley of despair, to the plateau of productivity. And finally, we come to skill number 10, which is the augmented emotional intelligence. Now, this is the most critical skill that we have saved for the last. As AI takes over the logical and analytical tasks, IQ, the relative value of emotional intelligence, EQ, skyrockets. AI can calculate the critical path, but it cannot negotiate with a frustrated stakeholder, motivate a burnt out team, or navigate complex office politics. EQ is becoming the defining skill for leaders in 2025. We call this authentic intelligence, the balance of human and machine capabilities. The empathy is understanding the stress and anxiety this rapid change places on the team. Then the social skills is about influencing skeptical stakeholders and bridging the gap between the technical teams who basically love the model and the business teams who essentially don't trust the model. The trust architecture. You must use your social capital to build trust in the AI system. If a team does not trust the AI schedule, they will revert to their manual spreadsheets, defeating the entire purpose. The project manager of 2025 and beyond is not a passive administrator, but a dynamic hybrid leader who speaks two languages: the language of data and algorithms, and the language of human emotion and strategy. The future belongs to the AI ready practitioner who can perform the ultimate orchestration. Using a generative AI agent to draft a project charter, seconds. Like that's skill number 4. Validating those assumptions using advanced data literacy, which is you talked in skill number 1. Ensuring compliance with the EU AI Act and the NIST RMF framework, which is skill number 7. Orchestrating a suite of intelligent tools to automate the schedule, skill number 5. And finally, using high EQ emotional intelligence, which is the current skill, the skill 10, we discussed towards the end, to convince a skeptical stakeholder board to approve the initiative. The human elements of judgment, ethics, and leadership become the premium asset. If you master these 10 skills and treat this transition as a talent first transformation, you will not only survive the AI revolution, but achieve those predicted 15x productivity gains. Think of yourself as a conductor leading a high tech orchestra. You don't play every instrument, the AI handles the mechanics, but you must understand the score, the data literacy, select the right instruments to orchestration, keep the tempo flexible, agile adoption, and inspire the musicians' emotional intelligence to create a harmonious, valuable performance. With that, we come to the end of the show. Please support our work by joining us as a member. And thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything from this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. Thank you for watching.